Olamide Mercy. I'm an international graduate student in the United States. I'm sure most of you, like, you probably know me, but yeah, I'll be the one answering your questions today to the best of my knowledge. I'll go ahead. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what we have. Yeah, so I believe we all can see my screen right now. Please, can you see my screen? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you. Because if I ask a question, the only way I can know that you guys are following me is when you guys like signify in the comment section. Please just make it like an interactive, engaging stuff. If I ask a question, you don't have to like omit yourself. You can just drop the response in the comment section. Thank you. So we're gonna get started straight to the point. So first question here is how to secure funding and admissions. How do I secure scholarship? How to get funding for MSc program. So, like, I'm sure you all know that this is pertaining to graduate school applications. It's not just it's not about probably like undergraduate application process. It is strictly graduate school admission, majorly for like for the United States, and also it is not something that we are going to be like breaking down. I'll just be answering the questions straight to the point. Okay, so let's get started. For those of us that are just joining, we are just getting started. So these are the questions that have been collated together, and I just like group them. The ones that are similar, I just group them into each slide. The first one, how to secure funding and admissions. How do I secure scholarship? How to get funding for MSc program? And the last one, for you to like get funding and admission, the steps, I'll just start with the steps. Number one is researching the programs and universities. You need to like identify the program that you want to study, because sometimes it's not what you did in your bachelor's is not what you did in your bachelor's that you are going to still like do in your graduate school. It might be something similar or the same thing, but you have to identify your research interest. What do I really want to study? What do I really want to go for? Is it like something different entirely, or is still the same thing? That is the first thing. So after you've like made your decision, this is what I am looking for. It does not just have to be limited to one thing particular, because graduate school is very like it's a broad thing. You might say, oh, probably you want to do something like mathematics, and maybe your research interest is in another field, something similar like by like applied mathematics or computational mathematics. So that is just one thing. Have your research interest, have them read, like know your research interest. After you know your research interest, the next thing you want to do is to identify the universities that offer your.
I want to let's meet for church every Sunday. Let's see how far. This one my pepper and tomato is in. Do we reach everything? Yes. Maybe she's rich. So.
Please mute yourself. So, like, you need to identify the program that you want to, your research interest. After that, you need to look for universities that offer your programs. There are several universities here in the US, and but like there are like different programs in different schools. So you need to identify that universities that offer your particular program. And also in researching, you also want to look for universities that offer funding and funding opportunities for you, like scholarships, assistanships, and fellowships. So I will assume that most of us here are international students, and I understand that funding is very, very important to us for like graduate school. You need funding. Most of us need funding to attend graduate school. So when you are doing your research, you have to like put that thing in at the back of your mind. Like, let that be a factor when you're searching for schools that offer your programs, as well as schools that have funding opportunities for you. Okay. Now that you know these things, the next thing you want to do is to start gathering your application materials. the application materials that is being required by that particular program, at that particular school that you have identified that you want to apply to. So some of the application materials that are there, like very like common that you need to like prepare for, is your personal statement. You need to start writing your personal statement. It's not a day thing. It takes time for you to like write your personal statement, your academic CV. This is like very, very important, which is very different from the work CV. Also, your letter of recommendation. You will need like people, recommenders, to write letter of recommendations for you. This can be from professors or professionals that know you very well. So that is like the third thing. Then another thing is your transcripts. Some schools will require for official transcripts, some will require for unofficial transcripts. So you need to get those things, like get it ready. Okay? Then standardized test. For some schools will require like GRE, GMAT, and probably TOEFL. So you need to get that ready if you've researched your particular school or program and they require that standardized test. So then another important document like that you need to get ready is your passport. That is very, very important. You will need that in your application journey. So just few things for you to know. So now the next question, how do I secure scholarship? Yeah. So there are different types of scholarship. Okay. There are different types of scholarship. We have like merit-based scholarship. We have need-based scholarship. When I mean merit-based, these are like they are awarded based on your academic achievements, your leadership, and certain activities. But for the need-based scholarship, they are like based on your financial need. And we also have some field-specific scholarships. Like this is for students in a particular field of study. We also have like scholarships that are for certain people from specific countries, probably for like from this particular country. So that's another like type of scholarship. So, but how do you secure scholarship? You need to search for them. They will not just come to you. You have to search for scholarships. And how can you search for scholarships? The first thing is you searching from the university website. When you are doing your research, you want to check the financial aid, the scholarship information section of that university that you're applying to. This is very, very, very important. I'll keep saying it, especially if you know that you cannot attend without funding. One thing that you should keep at the back of your mind when you're applying is, am I going to get is my program of interest in this school? Do they have funding for me? Those are the things that you have to like take note of. So funding and your program of interest, you have to search for the university, check the university website, and you get the information you need. Okay. Also, like it's not just like the university per se. You might need to go to your department, like your department section, to check for the particular scholarship that they offer for that program. Maybe probably like assistanships, fellowships, scholarships, and maybe yeah. So that is how you can secure scholarship. It's not something that you will like probably you have to do a lot of things. Just need to submit strong application and check first if they are offering scholarship. Then you now submit your application. Then another scholarship that I think most people do not know of is like scholarship from government and non-profit organizations like Chevening, Fulbright, and Erasmus. So Erasmus is not like United States, but like they are like government and non-profit organization scholarships. I just want you to know that. So, but for you to secure scholarship, you need to like start very early. You need to like submit strong letter of recommendations. You need to like demonstrate your academic, probably in your statement of purpose. You have to write a very strong statement of purpose. This is what is going to help your application. There's nothing special in securing a scholarship. You just have to do it the right way. Okay. Now, the next question is how to get funding for MSc program. Yeah, so it's still like similar to the scholarship. Funding for MSc programs, it can be in form of scholarship, it can be in form of assistantships, it can be in form of fellowships. Since I've talked about scholarships, so I'm just going to go straight into the assistantships. We have like three types of assistantships. So when I mean assistantships, sometimes it's required that you will be like assisting with a particular work. You have to like work and you'll get a stipend. So for the teaching assistantships, many universities they offer teaching assistantships that will give you the opportunity. They will give you like a stipend, and some can cover your tuition. They will give you a tuition waiver, and all you have to do is just to like help with teaching or probably grading and lab duties. Okay. It is not all teaching assistantship that will cover all. They are partial, they are full. So that is one thing to know. Then we also have research assistantships. So this is like you applying for research assistantship within your department. You have to like be working with somebody and they'll be like covering your tuition and they provide a stipend. I hope you are getting that. Then another form of assistantship is graduate assistantships. This is going to be like you can like it varies. Graduate assistantship can include teaching, research, and administrative roles. It also can cover your tuition and provide a stipend. So I think like that is one way for you. That is a like ways in which you can get funding for your MSc program, either scholarship or assistantships or fellowship. Yeah. So the last question on this slide is, please, I wanted to ask some questions about US funding through teaching assistantship. Does it cover cost of living or just tuition? This is a very good question. So most teaching assistantships, they usually like provide a tuition waiver. Please mute yourself. So they usually provide tuition waiver, and this tuition waiver can be full or partial. You have to take note of that. You, in terms of full tuition, probably they'll be covering both your in-state and your out-state tuition. You don't have to worry about paying tuition. And some will just ask you to pay for the out-state, like pay for like it will just be partial. They won't be covering everything. That is it. So it depends on the one that you are being given. And another like thing that teaching assistantship comes with is a stipend. So for like all TAs, they receive a stipend for their work, and this amount can vary. It can vary like from various university to another, because it's like the cost of living in each state is different from in this state is different from another state. So like the stipend might varies. Okay, so this is what you're going to probably use to cover your basic living expenses like your housing, paying, buying food, and your personal expenses. Then another thing that I think some TA covers is your health insurance, because all international students you have to pay for health insurance, which is like quite you need money for that too. So that is another thing that some TA offers cover. Then your international fees, some TA covers it, some do not cover it. So I hope I've answered that question. If some like your question about US funding, does it cover cost of living or just tuition? So it just depends. So when they give you an offer, you have to check, is this fully funded? Look at the what they wrote there. Would they be paying you a stipend? Would they be paying your tuition? So once they say they are paying you a stipend, I think, and they are covering your tuition, that's a very good one. So that's that for this slide. Please, do we have any like question related to this before we move to the next slide? I'll just assume like we do not have a question. All right. So I'll move to the next one. So, and this question is about, okay, somebody dropped something. Okay, no, I don't. Thank you, Victor. So somebody dropped a question about, I want more knowledge on scholarship and IELTS. And how can I ace my GRE score? So let's just pick it one by one. I already gave certain information about scholarship. So let's go to IELTS. So I'm just gonna say this. I'm not discouraging you from writing IELTS or TOEFL, but I'm just gonna say this, like you should focus less on all this like this exam, because You as an international, please mute yourself. Thank you. So you as an international, like you're from, most of us, we are from Africa, and we are from like an English speaking country. IELTS, TOEFL, they are just some exams that like they are going to just show your level of English proficiency. Okay. And let's say, for instance, you schooled, your undergraduate was from like probably Nigeria. All our schools, our subjects are being taught in English. You can always get a letter of English proficiency just to show that, oh yes, your schools, your subjects, your classes were being taught in English. So those things can cover up for your IELTS and your TOEFL, except it's been strictly required by the school that, oh, they want TOEFL, they want IELTS. Okay. So I personally, I wrote TOEFL, like I did not use it. The reason why I did not use it is not because I did not pass. I actually did excellently well, but because of misinformation. You're just doing things because people are writing this exam, people are writing this exam. Later, you realize that I did not use it at all. I only used my English proficiency letter that I got from my school. Okay. So this IELTS, I have like a little experience. I have experience because I've written the exam before. It's like an English exam. You have different sections. You have the speaking, you have the writing, you have the listening, and you have the reading. So if you are planning on writing all this exam, I'll just advise you to practice very well. You need to practice your time management. This is very important. And also the listening part, you need to start practicing. You need to like pay attention. Very, very like important. A critical aspect of it, I would say personally for me, is also the speaking section. You have to be very clear and confident when you are speaking this exam. So then the writing, all you just need is just to prepare, practice, and with that you'll be like well prepared to shoot for the exams. Okay. Then the next question, how can I ace my GRE score, or how can I better prepare for it? Very good question. So let's talk about preparing for GRE and how you can ace your GRE. First, you have to understand the GRE structure. So the GRE test consists of the verbal reasoning, the quantitative reasoning, and the writing sections. I hope you guys are following me. Let me just like not just be talking. Please, if you are following me, can you just signify in the comment in the chat box? Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, like, thank you. So you have to understand the GRA structure. I understand that a lot of people, because when I sent out the form, a lot of people like put it like filled what application section are you? GRA TOEFL, GRA TOEFL. Like majority were like GRA and TOEFL. I was like, wow. So you have to understand the GRE structure. The GRE consists of like three sections: verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, and the analytical writing sections. Now that you understand that this is what you want to do, this is the exam you want to write, you need to now sit down, create a study plan. That is very important. First of all, when do you want to write this exam? You have to have a target. Don't just say, I will write this exam this day. I will write. So, because one thing I've realized from a lot of prospective applicants is they tend to procrastinate. They just say things with just their mere mouth. They just be like, oh, I will write this exam. You need to say, oh, this is when I'm going to write this exam. You're going to set a target for yourself. When you know that, oh, this is when I want to write this exam, then you can plan the time frame that you want to use to study for the exam. You understand? Now, so let's say, oh, you have just 2 months to prepare for the exam. You can now plan very well. That is one thing to take note of. Then after you've known your time frame, now set goal for yourself. What's your target score? What is the school requiring from you? The school you want to apply to, what are their requirements? What is their target score? So know all those things. It's very important. It's going to keep you like focused. It's going to keep you like, so you know what you're doing. You're not just writing the exam just for writing purpose. Okay. Now that you've done this, the next thing you want to do is to like plan how you're going to cover every like the study material, all you need to like go through before the exam date. That is one thing that you need to do when you're if you're planning to write the GRE exam. Also, I will also advise that you use study materials. Don't just say, okay, I'm just going to focus on just these study materials. Like, use quality study materials like GRE, like Kaplan, ETS, Pristine Review. All these things are going to help you for prepare better for your GRE exam. Another thing is also that all these practice tests, it is very, very important for you to practice. It's not just about studying, you need to practice. So this practice test will help you get your own score. You'll be able to like, oh, this is what you do. Like, then you can grade yourself, you'll be graded, and you know where to improve, where to adjust, and all those kind of things. Okay, so when you are practicing as well, always make sure that you are taking like don't be lazy. Don't just be lazy. Practice full test, do the like sectional practice. And when you know your mistakes, when you know your weakness, focus on your weakness so you can improve that specific section. All right. Another point I'm going to give you if you are preparing for your GRE exam is like time management. You need to practice time management. It is very, very important. This is because sometimes you might know these things very well. You might know it. You might just need time to process, but there is not enough time for you to like do all that kind of a thing, to start thinking, to start like being slow. You need to practice time management. You also need to practice like strategies, key strategies in answering all these questions. One thing that really helped that I think will be helpful to you too is you getting a study group, like probably like an accountability partner that you know both of you are writing the exam together. You guys can always like practice, especially for this speaking section. You can always practice together. You can always, sorry, not the speaking session, the verbal reasoning. You can always ask questions and it's going to help. The person is going to give you feedback. Feedback really helps a lot. So these are the like strategies that I know that can help you if if you're preparing for GRE. Then this person asks that, please, do you know of any other GRE scholarship aside from Michael Taiwo? Yeah, so I would say no. I do not know of any GRE scholarship. The one I know of is ETS, and I think they only give it to people that are like writing the exams from US individuals. So I can just say like there are a lot of private organizations that they offer GRE waivers, even like probably your universities, international scholarship forum, they can always offer scholarships to help pay for these GRE exams. So just be like stay updated so you can always if you see any opportunity like that, grab it and make good use of it. Because I know GRE is quite expensive. Then somebody asked a cold email sample and what should a cold email entail and how long should it be? I'm going to provide a cold email sample later on after now, but I just want to go through what the cold email is and how long should it be. So what is a cold email? We all know that a cold email is when a student, like probably like you as an applicant, you begin to search for professors that their research interests align with yours. Okay? And okay, that their research interests align with yours. So you're going to like go through their website, look at their research, look at what they do, probably read their papers, and then you get their emails. Then you write an email, like you send them an email. And cold emails, like it really works. Like in getting assistantship, it is like a very, very good way of you securing scholarships. I intentionally skipped it bring like because I know I'm going to address it here. So if you get like a positive response from the professor in return, that is like a very like of course that is what you want. So cold email works. Let's talk about the component of cold email and how it should be. First, note that this is a professional mail. It is not like you don't have to start saying, how are you doing? How is everything? No. Go to the straight to the point. For instance, the subject of the email, you can just say, oh, you are a prospective PhD student interested in their research, or probably like something like that. So you don't have to start going like be polite, so that when they see the subject, when they see that, they'll know, oh, this is somebody interested in my research. Then talking about the address, you addressing them, you can just address them with their doctor or their professor or their last name. That is it. When you are introducing yourself, please go straight to the point. 1 to 2 sentences is fine. You don't have to start talking about, this is not your statement of purpose. This is a cold email. Very short, brief, concise, and it's a killer. Your aim goal is to get response. So you would not want to bore the professor with a lot of story. So just after introduction, go to the purpose of your email. State the reason why you are sending the email. Probably you are seeking for interest in their research, or you are looking for opportunities in their lab or their department. All right. Then after that, you need to talk about probably why you're interested in their work. Okay. What is that thing that like interests you about their work? How does it align with your own goal? How does it align with your own interest? Just attach 1 or 2 things to these things. They are going to like, it's going to make sense to the reader. Also, I always advise people to always attach their resume and their resume and their CV. Sorry, it's the same thing. Their CV and their transcript. That is going to help them. At least they won't have to ask you for it. So you can just be like, oh, at the end of like close towards to the close, attach is my academic CV and my transcript. Please like find it for your own review. And let them know that you're looking forward to hear from them. So like, for instance, you are probably like a prospective graduate student, you're interested in a research lab. You just go straight to the point. Dear doctor, my name is Olamide, and I'm currently a final year student studying in a particular program, or you have graduated, state the year. You're writing to express your interest in their lab, and you've read their papers. I'm going to provide this sample later. I'll provide a sample for you guys for you to can use as a referral. All right. Just make sure that this is not too long. It is not too long. Make sure you are being brave, and you don't have to um just use keywords that is going to draw their attention. And I hope like you get a positive response. All these things will help you increase your chance of getting a positive response from the professor. So let's go straight to the next question. So what is the best time to code in professors? Right now, I am on the stage of preparing for my GRE and writing sample. I am seeing people code emailing for 2024, but I want to finish my writing sample, which I will join with my code emails. This is a very good question, but like, what is the best time to code email professors? There is no like best time. In fact, like you should start now. I like the fact that you said, oh, you are preparing for your GRE. If you are the one that asked this question and you are listening to me. You are preparing for your GRE and you are writing your writing sample, which I'll presume is your statement of purpose or your personal statement. Please do not wait till this is ready before you code email professors. This is because like professors, they have like space in their lab. It's first come, first serve. If those people that are code emailing them, once they get the opportunity, like once the professors like find interest in them, they just like recruit them and they tell you, oh, there's no more space. Please take note of the fact that you're not the only one applying. There are a lot of people that they want to pursue their graduate studies too. And they're also code emailing professors. So you want to make sure that you are doing it on time and you are doing it very well. There is no point sending emails and you are just doing it anyhow, or you are just doing it for the sake of I want to send. Make sure you are doing it very, very well. This is going to help you get good results. Okay? So, to the person that asked this question, please, there is no best time to code emailing professors. Like, you should just start now. So, like, let's say the response from the professor is positive. If they ask you, oh, do you have a GRE? Do they like, or probably if the professor even says, oh, they need GRE, you can always tell them you are preparing for your GRE and you hope to like, please reach yourself. So, that is one thing to like take note of. Please start shooting your like short, start sending cold emails to professors. Do your research, go to schools, universities, look out for their programs, look at their professors, and send them emails. Okay, so now let us take questions from this related to this. Do we have anybody in the house that have a question? Please, I want you guys to ask questions. It's a question. Okay, Victor, unmute yourself and you can ask your question. Victor, you can ask your question. Okay, your place is okay. You can type. Victor, you can type. If you have any questions, please drop your question. I believe we are here to like learn. Feel free to ask any question. Don't be shy. There is no bad question. There is no bad question. There is no good question. Just ask your question. Anything that is not clear to you. Okay. Olufunke, should we wait for a good response from professors before gathering all important documents for application? So I would say no, because sometimes you might not get response. Okay, you might not get a response from the professor of that particular school. That does not mean you won't get admitted or you won't get funding. You need to understand the fact that there are different processes to these things. Some schools will ask that, oh, you need to secure a professor before you can before applying. Okay, there are some schools that you apply to, you talk to their professors, they will tell you. And so sorry, let me not confuse you guys. There are some schools that will ask you secure a professor before coming to apply to us. And some schools will be like, go and secure admission first before coming back to me. Get admission, then come back to me to tell me you're interested in my research. So don't wait until you get a response from a professor before you apply, before you start gathering. No, 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 no. There are a lot of schools that do not require you to get a professor before getting admitted. So this thing is very important. Funke, did I answer your question very well? Funke, did I answer your question? Okay, thank you. So the next question is, how can I search for schools I can apply to in USA? Abu, we talked about this earlier. So you just have to like check online, because like this thing is not like, oh, there's this particular place you have to go to. You have to use Google. You have to like connect to all this like Telegram, Twitter, LinkedIn. And you yourself, you can sit down, go to Google, search for the schools. You use keywords like, oh, schools and universities offering your particular program. Then you can always like go into all those like schools, like their website, check for their programs, check for their like requirements, their research funding opportunities. You understand? So there is not something, it's not like you have to do a very elaborate search. You just have to like check in by yourself. Did I answer your question, Abu? Okay, so the next question I'm seeing here is, after checking the professor profiles and did not see them express whether or not they want prospective graduate student and on their webpage, should I go ahead and hold the meeting? Yeah, you can always shoot your shots, even if they do not tell you they want a particular student in their lab. You can still let them know that. You can just tell them, oh, you're interested. And that does not stop you from applying to that particular school. So let me give you let me give you an example. Let's say you want to apply to a school and you're just naive, you don't know anything, you don't have enough information about that. You like, just like you said, they are not expressing interest on their website that they want a student. Like, it's something I've done before. Like, you go ahead, like check with the graduate committee, like the academic coordinator, check for their requirements. Okay, if they tell you, oh, you don't need a professor, you can always ask all those questions. Oh, do you need to get a professor? Do you need to like secure a go ahead from a professor before applying? They will tell you all these things. And even if you've like checked with the graduate coordinator, you can still always express your like talk to professors, because like there will always be a committee in charge of admission, right? And you never can tell, they can be in charge of that admission committee, so they can still like be like, oh, I know this person, something like that. So if you check them, you can still go ahead and code email them. At least there's nothing like but even if you do not get a response, you've done your best. Okay. So Lotta, can somebody who is already studying in another country in Europe and got admission in US with funding, can the person come to US via tourist visa and convert it to student visa while in USA? Oh yes, yeah. Can the person come to USA via tourist visa and convert it to student visa while in USA? Um, if you have a tourist visa already, that's fine. And if you have like but you'll need a student visa before you can study. So I think it would be nice if you can just apply for your student visa like before coming in. It will make things easier for you. I don't know. So next question. Assuming I paid for my tuition and I later got an assistantship, how do I get my money back? Oh, once you paid for your tuition, you're not getting your money back. Okay? Like once you pay, like you have to be here before you can like do all those things. So once you pay for your tuition, I don't think you can get your money back. Please, did I answer your question, Lotta? I'm not sure if I answered your question very well. If you have your B1, if you have your tourist visa already, I would advise that you should just apply for the student visa. But you can always come here via tourist visa as well. Like once you have a visa, you can always come in and convert it. That's possible as well. But congratulations. Yes. Any question on this slide before we move to the next slide? In the absence of none, I'm going to move to the next slide, which is the last one, before we take random questions. So I'll be applying to either university by for 2025. I made a professor, but I have not gotten a response yet. Should I still go ahead to apply? So this is the same question Victor just asked. So this is the same question Victor just asked. So please go ahead, submit your application. In as much as you've contacted the graduate coordinator, always ask them, always ask. So don't just be submitting applications for submission's sake. Ask questions from the graduate coordinator if you are confused about anything. And I am very sure they are going to respond to you. Very, very 100% sure. The graduate coordinator, they would respond to you. But if you are the one that asked this question, please go ahead. Make sure that you're submitting strong letter of recommendations, strong statement of purpose, strong academic CV, and yes, go ahead. Then the next question, if you were to go back to your undergraduate days, what were those things you wish you started early that would have made your scholarship journey stress-free and straightforward? In summary, what should I put in place while I am yet to graduate that will help me when it is due time for scholarship application? So this is a very, very good question. Okay. First thing, if you are still like if you are still in the university, you are still like pursuing your bachelor's degree, one advice I will give to you is pursue academic excellence. Try to make sure that you keep your grades as high as possible. If there is still opportunity for you to like get good grades, make sure you get them, because a strong academic record is going to like be a plus for your application. Okay? It's going to make you have an edge ahead of others. Another thing I would advise is your research experience. Work on your research experience. If you are still in your bachelor's, start participating in research projects. Talk to your professors, talk to your lecturers, collaborate with them. All right. Like look for research opportunities that you can engage yourself with. This is going to help you when you're writing your statement of purpose, when you're writing your academic CV. It's going to boost your application. And when you are doing all this research, if it is possible, try to publish your work. especially your thesis, if you're able to collaborate with professors, even your fellow students. If it is possible, try to get your research published. Is a plus, is a like a good thing for your application. It's going to enhance your statement of purpose, your CV. At least you have something to say. Another advice I would give for you that is going to help you if you are still in school is that you should participate in extracurricular activities, like you joining clubs, organizations, taking on leadership roles. Sorry, these things will help you because you are going to like those are the things that you're going to highlight in your academic CV, your statement of purpose. I want you to understand that the most sometimes they are not really after your academic like your like knowledge or probably how you can study or something like that. They are as well looking at your abilities. Can you like manage extracurricular activities with your academics, all those things? But if you are somebody that have an experience, you'll be able to say, oh, I'm able to manage this while I was in school. I did this, and they'll be like, oh wow, that is what makes you a leader. That is what makes you a perfect candidate. So you're able to balance things. It's a plus for you. Then another important thing I'm going to advise if you are still in school that is going to help you is build a good relationship with your lecturers. This is very, very important. Aside the fact that you also need them, like collaborating with them in research and all, they'll be the one writing letter of recommendations for you. And for you, how do you expect somebody that you're not related to in any way, you're not close to, you never had a good communication with them or a good relationship with them to write a strong letter of recommendation for you? That would be like something that it's kind of hard. They will just write it. But if you still have the opportunity now, build relationship with your professors. It's going to help you a lot. You'll be able to like walk up to them to like, please, I need letter of recommendations because you need letter of recommendations in applying to graduate school. Okay. And I think lastly, if you are still in school, if you're able to like learn certain skills, like technical skills, like that will benefit like your fields, like all these like programming languages or anything that you know will be relevant to your field of study, please do so. Okay. And if you are a student still in your undergraduate and you know that you will be applying, make sure you stay informed. Okay. Stay informed about scholarships, stuff like this. Always like pay attention to it, make yourself available. So by the time you start, you are ready for scholarship application, you are graduating, every other thing is ready, you are well informed, you know what to put in place, you know what to do. Okay. Then I can also give an advice that if you are able to attend conferences or research, like presentations, present research, workshops, it's going to also help you. All right. Also, before I forget, make sure you try to save money, no matter how little it is. Try to save money because when you start applying to schools, you will need money for application fee, for passport, and all those things. So, if you're able to like get just a little, you can start saving. And if you know you'll be writing standardized tests as well, make sure you start planning for all those things. Like, be focused. So just like before I forget this, I said I'm going to say this. What really helped my scholarship journey was when I was in my first semester, final year at the University of Ilorin. Like there was a scholar, like our scholar in the department organized a group. We came together as a group and we always like keep ourselves informed about all the scholarship opportunities. So that was how it all started. Then you'll be like, oh, how do you do this? How can I get scholarship? What are the things that I need to do? What are the things that I need to put in place? So that way you're able to like prepare yourself. You have a notebook, you highlight what you need to do, what you need to get ready, and all those kind of things. So I hope I've answered your question. I just hope I have. Then the next question, can publication be used in place of low GRE score? And what is the possibility of securing PhD program with a BSc? Okay. So, yeah, like, firstly, if a school is asking you for GRE. You can't say, oh, I want to present my publication. I don't have a GRE. No. But a publication can help you like boost your application. It can make it like give you more points for like your application for graduate school, especially if you're applying for PhD programs, masters, and that. Okay. So I would not say, oh yes, because you have low GRE score, you have to like use publication. If so, the school can say, oh, they want the GRE score per se. You have to. But let's say it's not required. GRE is not required. It's a good plus for you. Your publication is a very good plus. And what is the possibility of securing a PhD program with a BSc? It is 100% possible. I have like friends that did this, that went through this route, and it was like straightforward, bachelor's to PhD. So it is 100% possible to get a bachelor's with your PhD, because even in your PhD, it's not like you're starting research straight. You have the opportunities to take coursework in your first few years, and these things will help you like prepare for the research itself. You understand? So if you are thinking of going for your PhD straight with your bachelor's, please shoot your shot. Just make sure that your application materials, they are very strong, okay, and do your research very well. Don't just be applying for the sake of application, or for the sake of, oh yes, I'm applying, or I want to submit 10 applications, I want to submit 20 applications. There is no point in submitting applications if you do not do it very well. You would not get a positive result. So if you are doing something, I would always say it again, do it very well with the aim goal of getting a result, not just with the aim goal of saying, I want to apply, I want to apply. Okay, so it is possible for you to secure PhD with a BSc. All right, just shoot your shot if you're interested in that. Then somebody asks, why the serial denial by the VCOs? I would presume you meant visa officers. So I'm not a visa officer, but there are several reasons for denials. It's not like they just deny people. Their main goal is that they want to be very sure that you are coming. The purpose of you coming to study is the purpose of you coming to the US is to come and study, not that you are going to come here to become a burden, or you start becoming a like something else. Okay, so sometimes it's probably because of you not being able to provide adequate financial support for your tuition, maybe lack of funding. It can be a reason for visa denial, or probably like they can see that desperation in you, that you want to jackpot, or you want to like you won't be coming back, something like that. So that can be another reason for visa denial. Okay. Also, if you have probably previous immigration violations, or you've like probably like disobeyed the law, that can also be a red flag. I just want you to understand that there are several reasons for denials like visa officers. I'm not a visa officer, but I'll just say that if you are planning on going for your visa interview, prepare very well. Make sure you are able to demonstrate to the visa officer that, oh yes, I'm going to study. I have my complete documentation. You are preparing very well for your interview. You are bold, you are confident, you are preparing for all the questions that will come your way. And don't lie. Don't lie, because this they will get you, and you don't want something that's going to be a red flag to your application. That is that. I hope I've answered that question. The next question, the last question on this slide is it compulsory I include my degree project in my CV and SOP? So I would think I will assume this is your thesis that you're talking about. So this is a very good question. I would say yes, please attach your CV and your research. It's going to, especially if it's relevant to your graduate program that you want to apply to. Let's say you did your bachelor's in mathematics, your project was in probably modeling and all, and you're applying to graduate school in something related. Put it. It's because if you don't put it, what are you going to say you've done? Except you have some other things to say. yes, you might decide not to, but if not, please always put your research. You can use it as a research experience. That is a research experience, of course. You did it by yourself, you did the research. So you can always include it in that session. And in your statement of purpose, you can always talk about your research, your thesis as your research experience. So it's not compulsory, but it's advisable that you include that in your CV and your statement of purpose, your academic CV. So that is the end of the questions that I have. So um more questions can come in. And if you have any questions related to that. So I think from the chat board, somebody has Lotta, well, you'll be asked why you are going to US, why you're studying Valley. Lotta, I do not understand your question. You are still studying in the Europe, right? Or oh, that's a very good question. Oh, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. Yeah, you'll be asked why. So you have to prepare for that. Probably you can go on a tourist visa, and I don't know. I don't know. You probably have to like seek for further advice. You can send me an email. You can shoot me an email, and we can talk after now. So then the next question, Dako Esther, you mentioned letter of recommendation. Does it have to be tailored to the course you are applying for? Just in case you plan on applying for two different. Esther, if I get your question, letter of recommendation, does it have to be tailored to the course you're applying for? So, letter of recommendations, they would always tell you what they want in the letter of recommendations from that particular school. So I cannot answer that question for you. If a particular school says they want to know about your academic abilities, your leadership stuff, your responsibilities, they will always put it there. So it varies. You understand? And it's not like they are really after your academic abilities. They just want somebody to be able to like say something about you, somebody that is not you. They want somebody to recommend you for that particular program. Of course, they will talk about um your your like probably like your academic skills. Just imagine if a professional person, probably your employee, is writing a letter of recommendation for you. How does that relate to you? Probably I did not get your question, Esther. Does it have to be tailored to the course you are applying for? I did not understand your question. Just in case you are plan on applying to three different courses. I do not understand. So how many professors can you send code emails to in a faculty? That's a very good question. So far your research interest, so this is a very good question. So far your research interest aligns with their own, you can always send them like cold emails. You can always send, there is no like specific number. Okay, Funge, there is no specific number. You can always send, you can always, sorry, I'm reading the comment sections. You can always send cold emails to professors, but make sure that you are really sincere about what you are saying, that their research interest, you know what you are doing, you are interested in what they do. Okay? Yeah. So okay, Esther, I answered your question. So this is like we are giving room for more questions. Do we have anybody in the house that have more questions? More questions, please. Can we send the professors? Yeah. So when you send cold emails, it's a very good thing for you to do follow-up. A polite follow-up will not be bad if you're not getting response. Okay? So you can always send a reminder to them, a very short reminder to that same email. You cannot just a follow-up email. I hope I've answered your question, Aisha. Do we have any question? General question? I'm giving room for questions. Anybody in the house, you can always unmute yourself if you have any question. So just while waiting for people to ask question, I'm just going to advise, like, this journey, it's something that it's possible. I want you to understand that securing admission, securing funding, it's possible, it's doable. Along the line, you might get frustrated, you might want to get discouraged because you have to give it your time, give it your resources. But I want to encourage you, please do not give up, because at the end of it, you would be grateful you were like consistent till the end till you get a result. So please make sure you are consistent. You are not just procrastinating. Um you are not just saying, using mere mouth to say I will apply, or using mere mouth to say I will do these things. I don't like it when people be like, oh, I want to do this, and they just leave it, and they'll be like, oh, something came up, something. Of course, things might come up, but don't say because of that you're going to like kill your dream of studying in abroad, or probably like get discouraged or get frustrated. Be very determined. Be determined, sorry. Be determined, be strong. Because with that is the only way you can get a good result. And along the line, applications and deniers will come, sorry, like rejections. You still have to stay firm. Just re-strategize when rejections come, you strategize and keep shooting for what you want. And I am very sure you'll get results, positive results. Is there anyone? Do we have anybody that have questions? Anybody?
Okay, I have question. Hi, Olamide. Can you
I
hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear you. Thank you.
Yeah. My name is Olamide. My question is, for accounting, most of schools or most of the business schools, they require GRE,
Mhm.
right? And if I want to write the code mail or start code mailing professors, do I have to include the intention to write GRE there, or if they hacks?
Very
Because you mentioned earlier, so that's my question.
Oh, thank you for asking your question, Alamde. So, if like the professor did not say they want GRE, or they do not, like, you don't need to put that in your cold email. Those are like, it's not necessary. Except probably you saw the flyer, you saw the stuff, and they said, oh, we need GRE score of this. Let them know that you're interested, but you want to write, you're just about to write the GRE. So you don't miss your chance. So, but if it is not stated, I don't think you should just start saying you want to write Jerry. Nobody's asking. Did I answer your question, Olamide? Or I went?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. If you have any questions, please shoot. I saw a position open for masters on LinkedIn, and I messaged her, and she sent an email, and I applied. I received an email back saying she's reviewing all the applications. No. So, a very good question. She's reviewing all the applications, saying she will get back to the best applicants. Would it be the best thing to build a relationship? Which relationship do you want to build? So, like, I would say you should just a follow-up email can be like will be very good. A follow-up email, a follow-up message on LinkedIn too will be very good. You understand? Probably like get if they post something, always like get what am I gonna say? Interact with their post, you understand? You don't have to start saying how are you doing, how are you checking. No, you've done your best. Follow up, do a follow-up email. You are waiting to hear back from them. Let them know that you're waiting to hear back from them, and stay positive that, oh yes, I stand a chance. At least that is a positive response. I don't know if I answered your question, Lolufunke. Yes, you did. Thank you. So Anchor won't get someone to review is our SOP or code email. Very good. It's a good question. Of course, you always need people. Don't just be before applying. Like when you're applying, don't just be doing it without people like reviewing for you. It can be your friend, it can be somebody that you know is that has experienced in that area, or like that can go through your SOP or code email, because sometimes what you cannot see, when somebody goes through it, they can always see your mistakes. But how can you get somebody to review for you? You can always reach out to people. Like LinkedIn is a good way of you networking with scholars or probably people in that field. You can also talk to your fellow friends. This is why I did not say this. It is good to work with people, with like-minded people like you, that they are going towards this journey. So you are able to like interact with one another, encourage one another, take your like we rise by lifting others. I don't know how to say that. Yeah. So you can always go like work in hand with somebody else that you guys can check for one another. And I'm also happy to help you review your CV or your statement of purpose if you have it, even if it is not related to my field. I can always give you one or two like comments, and you can always talk to people in that particular field so they can help you review. You can always check for them on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Like you can always check on LinkedIn. So next questions. I have a friend that got 3 good responses from her code email. Could I use a sample but tailor it to my very good? Yes. You can use a sample. You can tell that she's doing it very well. Okay. So do we have any more
I
questions?
have a question.
Okay, please ask.
The recommendation,
Yeah.
the recommendation, does it have to be from our lecturers from school alone, or can it be from maybe our employers, something like that? Like maybe one from one of our lecturers and maybe one from where I had an internship or something.
Yeah. Very, very, yeah, you're good to go. So it does
Okay.
not have to be so, except it's being stated, because there will be some
Okay.
schools that you'll be applying to, they will tell you they want people that can attest to just your academic abilities, or they want people that can talk about, maybe they will be like at least 2 people that can talk about your academic skills, that is somebody that have taught you before, or somebody that you've worked with, like education in the educational sector, academic sector. Except it's been stated, you can always make it like one person from the work field, like your employer can always like write a recommender for.
Recommend
For
you.
instance,
Okay.
you said it's like IT. That is a very good,
Yes, like IT.
yeah, that is a very good place where your letter of recommendation can come from. Just talk to those people
Okay.
that write your letter of recommendation for you, that they should please, you need them to like write a good, strong letter of recommendation for you. Note that you are not the only one applying. There are a lot of people. So submit strong documents, application documents.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Please, any other question? And like while we are waiting for more questions, you guys let us connect on LinkedIn, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I always post a lot of information about graduate school application materials. I will be dropping a sample on application fee waiver and cold email application with cold email templates.
I have another question.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever we see like on LinkedIn, there are some professors that will post it out there that they need students that are maybe master's students or PhD students. Does that post, does it mean that they have funding like
Yeah.
that? Does it mean that they have funding for us?
Yeah, yeah. So very good question. It's good to understand this thing that yes, they do. So probably like they've secured a grant, or they, yeah, because for a professor to like shoot that kind of an email, they probably have a grant that they got and they are looking for students to work with. So yes, they are willing to fund you.
Okay, I have another question again. Um okay, there is graduate research assistantship.
Yes.
So that that's graduate. Is that also a master degree program like that, or a PhD? Like when we take that graduate research assistantship, is it like a MSc program like that?
Very good
Or
question. So yeah. So depending on your contract, depending on your communication with the professors or like the supervisor. A graded
Okay.
assistantship can be for masters and it can also be for PhD. Okay.
Okay.
So it's not like it's specific to a particular this thing. You can get a graduate research assistantship to do your master's, and you can also get it for PhD. But just know that it is graduate school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it now. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Hi, Olamide, I have a question.
Yeah, please you should.
Yeah. So I'm currently doing an externship with a company in US. An externship, market research. Can that also count as research experience?
Yeah, it's a very good one, considering the fact that it's an international experience. Yes, it's going to count. Like it's a very good one. Please write like attach it is relevant, very, very relevant.
Okay, so would I have to include it in my code mail, or just SOP and CV would be fine?
So your cold email, it's only things that are relevant to what you are saying that you should include. If what you are doing in your what you said is relevant to what the professor is doing, you can include it. But if it is not relevant, please do not add it. Just put it in your CV and your statement of purpose. So, but let's say you want to send a cold email and it's not in any way relevant related to what the professor is doing. There is no point adding it. Except probably that is what you do currently. But I think your cold email should just be precise. You don't have to state things just because you want to like let them know you are doing this. Your aim goal should be, oh, you want to get results, you want to sell yourself very well. So that is that.
One more question, ma.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it's about this GRE exam. This GRE. I heard that most people are now saying that it's like even if you have first class or you have second class upper or you have second class lower, right? GRE. Like I don't know. What do you think about it?
It's a very good question. Like writing GRE,
Mm-hmm.
it's a plus, right? It's a plus to your application. But I want you to understand that not all schools require GRE.
Mm.
Not all schools require GRE. So what do you say about that? But for if you want to boost your application, if you want to get it higher, some schools will tell you don't attach your GRE. That is, they don't even want to see your GRE score. And some schools will tell
Wow.
oh, we need GRE. So you have to work with your specific school. Forget about what people are saying. People would say this and that. But what is your that rallies around your research? What is your research that you've done? The research you've done. Have you been able to get the requirements? What do they want from you? So that way you'll be able to tell, oh, do I need GRE? Do I need to write GRE? Oh, is GRE what I need right now? Okay. Just understand that a lot of people have gotten admission, BSc to PhD without GRE, masters without GRE. Okay. But for people
I
that
understand. I
are
understand.
like low GPAs and all this kind of a thing, I strongly recommend GRE for them. So it just varies. Your own
Okay, I have another question. Okay.
yeah, your own story might be different from somebody else. Your own application journey might be different from somebody application journey. So it's good to always like hear from people, but don't say because somebody is doing this thing, I'm going to do it. Or because somebody is writing GRE. That is what happened to me when I wrote TOEFL. I was writing TOEFL because my friends are writing TOEFL. I did not use it, not because I did not
Wow.
pass, but I did not need it. Okay. So
Wow.
make sure you are writing something that you know it will be useful to you.
Okay. This question is about those with second class lower. You said you strongly recommend that GRE. What if the person did not meet up with the required GPA and but the GRE score is okay? Should the person still proceed with the application?
Before you proceed, you can't just proceed. Sometimes you have to pay for application fee. So you
Yes.
might I would advise that you ask the graduate committee, ask them, this is my this thing, my circumstance, this is my situation. What will you advise I do? They would give you better response. So don't just always assume or don't just say just apply. Always ask questions, just like you're asking questions
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Please feel free to ask questions, anybody in the house. And I hope if I've said anything you're not clear about, you can always ask again. The main purpose of this is for you to gain understanding and insight into what you do not know about. Okay, so I'll just assume we do not have any question. I am wishing you guys all the best in your application journey, and I'm rooting for you guys. Thank you so much for joining this section. I really, really, really do appreciate. I hope you get positive response from all your applications. So if you want to reach out to me, this is my email. You can always like send me email. Olamide. You can always, my name is Olamide Oluwatade once again. Thank you all for joining. I think that is going to be the end of our meeting. And yes, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Olamide Oluwatade. I will also like save this session is being recorded. You can always like have access to this after now. So yeah, you can tell your friends to watch or tell your colleagues. Yeah, thank you everybody for joining. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.